Hey guys, Crystal here from Mom Talk TV, and we're kind of hiding out in the bathroom today, trying to kind of be quiet as the kids are sleeping. I think this is like the only place that moms can sometimes, I mean that's even debatable, get away from everything. But this week we're discussing something that's really important, I think, to just start off talking with our kids at a young age, of the no touch, bad touch situation. And this is something that's actually really recently come up with our almost 3-year-old daughter. She is just pretty much done with potty training, and of course the curiosity has sat in when it comes to body parts. And sexual abuse, I think, is something that's really huge, and it's amazing just how many people are affected by it. And it's something that's not even just physically affecting, it's emotionally affecting. And I think it's something that it's good to start young with our kids and discussing, and just as they grow, continuing to discuss with them and furthering the information and things like that. So for the age that we're at, with like the 2.5, 3-year-old zone, we've started with our daughter just with like the whole potty training thing. I've discussed with her that when it comes to, because she asks us to help her clean up after going potty, and we've used that as kind of a liaison to talk about this in a sense of saying, this is your no touch zone. These are your private areas that nobody else can touch. You can get help from mommy and daddy, or maybe even like grandma and grandpa. And if we're at the doctor's office with you and the doctor needs to check you in certain places, that's okay. But if you're anywhere else, like out, in the park, or just anywhere at like a daycare or anything like that, anybody else in that area, your no touch zone, is not okay. And I think it's also, something we've also talked to her in gaining a trust with her, that it's not something that would be her fault. It's not something that's shameful. It's not something to be ashamed of, in a sense of being scared to tell anybody. And we've told her, if anybody does anything like that, you need to immediately find mommy and daddy, and you need to tell us. You need to say that, first of all, you need to tell the person, no, this is my no touch zone, and you need to get away from that person as best you can. And you need to find a trusting adult like mom or dad, or a police officer if you see one, which she knows who those are, a fireman, whomever. And you need to let us know what's going on and not feel like you can't tell us, because this is something that's just not okay. And I kind of role play with her in a sense of, I say, okay, now if somebody comes to you and is in your no touch zone, what do you do? And she'll tell me, I tell them, no, mommy, and I come and find you, which is great. That's exactly what I want her to do. I know it's, a little hard for her to comprehend, and obviously my daughter doesn't understand what sexual abuse is, but I want her to be able to know that this is not okay. What's happening right now is not good. So I want her to understand that. And obviously as she grows, I'm going to be more, open with her in a sense of different things and sexuality in itself, and what's, okay and what's not okay when it comes to it. And I want her to understand that, it's okay for someone to come up and shake your hand. It's okay for someone to give you a high five and things like that. But people getting touchy-feely with you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable is not cool. So I want her to understand that. And same thing with my son, because even though he's just an infant right now, I want to have these conversations with him too, because it's something that's very serious. I think even men and boys alike are sexually abused, and it's terrible. I mean, a lot of people don't think about that. They're like, it goes over their head, but I think that happens to them a lot more than we think. And it's important to talk to our sons about that kind of stuff too. So, and that's just something that we've also discussed with her in general, our daughter in general too, with her curiosity of, my body. And she knows that there's certain places that she doesn't touch on my body, because I kind of use myself as an example of, no, this is mommy's no touch area. We don't touch mommy's no touch area. And she has understood that there are certain areas on my body that she can't touch. And in turn, I think she realizes that there are certain areas in her body that other people cannot touch. So that's kind of what we've been doing with the no touch, the good touch, bad touch situation in that. So I kind of feel like I rambled a little bit, but we are really new to this, and our daughter is really young, but I really don't think there's like a specific age. I think it starts pretty much from the beginning, and I think it just kind of grows with their age of what type of information you're giving and what you're being open with and that kind of stuff. And then from there, yeah, I think it's just going from that. And I think it's just when it comes to when to bring it up, I think it's just in those kind of situations, you know, when your kid's curious or, you know, during maybe like potty training or even at the doctor. Like I know my mom had my doctor talk to me about that kind of stuff when I was older. And that was really good to talk to somebody outside of just my mom. So that was a great idea as well. And so, yeah, be sure to stay tuned all this week, guys. We're going to be discussing this. I know it's kind of a heavy subject, but I think it's a good one to cover for sure. And the other gals are going to be talking about what they do in their families as well. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe so you can get the stuff in your inbox of when we've posted videos. And thanks so much for staying tuned to Mom Talk TV, guys. We will see you guys later.